What up, Skin? Welcome to Bar Vibes with Bryce the Fourth, giving out raw reaction and interacting with the masses. No subject is safe. You'll hear the people in it. You won't hear the people today. Some renovations are going to run, but hey, no subject is safe. That's the point because without the people, what is the point? Point. There's an echo in this bitch. Embracing vibrations. You know where we got to start. Boop. Shout out to Boo for the shirt. Go Birds. It was a week. It was a week where everybody was on edge. People were wondering what was going to happen, and you know what happened? They got the fucking job done. Oh, you need to run? Nope. Oh, you need to tush push? Nope. Oh, you need it? No. What we need to do, and what they did, the Eagles, was get the ball to their playmakers. Done and done. Smitty with his grandstand best performance in his career, regular season or playoffs. You get the ball to your best receiver in AJ, and I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, maybe Smitty might be the." No. For now, AJ's numero uno. Got his. We had some injuries. The Eagles did. Cam Jurgens going out. It does affect the run game, but they're figuring out ways. The players are figuring out ways, not the coaches. And this is if you follow the team in 2023 when things collapsed, I don't think that they had that aspect where players are like, "Hey, we just need to take control of this shit." They took control, and that's what you got. And I think it's crazy because if I had been doing this show before, I'd have been talking about Carson Wentz. And now here I'm talking about Carson Wentz. He did every Carson Wentz thing that you could possibly do. He throws a pick six, throws a fumble 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and then throws another pick. I've watched the highlights multiple times, still don't know how they got 22 points, but they did. Defense showed up. Jalen Hurts was very, 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 very decisive. He knew when it was time to get out of the pocket. He knew when it was time not to run. He was making sure they were getting first. We got three first downs converted when it was more than 8 yards. And at this point, they're in the trust tree. If we talk about it, us, the players, it's gonna be done. As far as the Vikings go, I don't understand why the Vikings. I don't understand why the Vikings don't. They're not gonna put in their back or their quarterback that they drafted. They're not gonna do it because I feel like they know that they made a mistake putting him in too early, and they're going to continue to ride with Carson Wentz, who's going to continue to do these weird ass things. And don't get it twisted. He was making some really good throws. There was 2 third downs. It was like 3rd and 10s where I'm out of the pocket, I'm running. But then you get these hilarious throws where that's neither here nor there. Brandon Graham is back. That's solidified. You ask me if I'm okay with it? Absolutely. Do you ask me if I think that it's going to make a huge splash? No. I need Brandon Graham in the locker room. That's where the issue is for the Eagles right now. They need somebody in the locker room to be like, hey, if he had business meetings with them, like, yep, come on in, let's talk about it. That's what they need right now. And I know the players, I'm pretty sure the players are okay with it. Eagles are back to 5-2. They got they got another game next week, and then we get a bye. Time to get it rolling. We do have injuries, and when we get our edge rushers back, we'll be okay. Done and done. Go Birds. Jaguars, Rams. I'm over this whole London thing. It used to be where it's like Yeah, oh, we're playing. They're playing a game in London for 1 week or 2 weeks. They've been out of the country for like 6 times. I'm over it. I like to watch football. I like to wake up and be like, "Hey, it's football time." I don't want to have to do 9:30 every week. NFL, what are you doing? But as far as the game goes, the Jaguars have not figured this out, and even with a new coach, have not figured it out. Matt Stafford was on fire. Fantasy points, eight, 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 eight. And my phone was blowing up at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, what? Why? Matt Stafford was on a bean, throwing it all over the place, and no mistakes by them. The Jaguars, they they're trying to hold on to the fact that they drafted him, and when I say him, I mean Trevor Lawrence, and they don't have an answer, but they don't have an out. There's no one else that they can bring in and be like, all right, let's have Trevor Lawrence sit on the bench, and you should have been done that. He got thrown into the fire because he was a rookie. He just doesn't see the field. And the Rams came out, punched him in the mouth, and it was over. I didn't watch the game, and I'm just being honest. I didn't watch it. I watched the highlights. Once the Rams went up 14-0, game was over. Get these games out of London. They're going to try to put a game in or a team in London. No. Rams are legit. Sean McVay is on his shit. They didn't have their best receivers. They were going 3 tight ends the entire game, and Liam Cohen, who, if you didn't know, was an assistant for the Rams, had no answer because he had never seen it before. There you go. Giants and Broncos. I love my birds. This was the best game of the year. Giants come out hot. Jackson Dart throwing into his tight ends, doing his thing. Their front four was on the defense for the Giants eating. And I'm going to make sure you remember I said that. Eating. Giants up 19-0. And then the Broncos just surge. Bo Nix looked like shit first 3 quarters. And then they go up. It was 19-6. And then the Broncos score again. Broncos score again. But the Giants were like, okay, nope. Let's take control of this game. They did. And then we get to a point where it's 1 minute in the 4th quarter. And the Giants get some, I'm going to call it bullshit because it was bullshit. A bullshit PI call. Okay, sure. 40 seconds. You get a score. You go up. You give the ball back to the Broncos. They got 30 seconds. No timeouts on their 20. And you only rushed 3. So you're just letting Bo Nix hang out and do whatever he wants down the field. First down for 30 yards. Then you get him another one, 15 yards. Kick a field goal, call it a day. I'm a prime believer in divine intervention. If you don't know who Demaryius Thomas was, he played for the Broncos. They had 33 points. He was 33 when he passed away. They had two touchdowns where they went 8-8. Demaryius Thomas were 88. It was just in the cards. The kicker for the Giants kind of ruined this for them because he missed 2 extra points and a field goal. They wouldn't have been in that situation. It was a 1,602 straight games in the NFL where a team was up 18 and didn't lose. Giants broke that. And that's all I have to say about that. Saints versus the Bears. The Bears defense, phenomenal. I knew that it was going to be a bad day for Spencer Rattler because the first drive, the announcer goes, "Oh, Spencer Rattler hasn't thrown a interception in 3 games." And he threw 3 interceptions. Stop doing this. And then he just has terrible ball security. He's running through the line, Spencer Rattler, running through the line with one ball in the hand, slapped it out. So you got 4 turnovers, Spencer Rattler. And the Saints are just so vanilla on offense. Caleb Williams did just enough. He threw another pick, but he did just enough not to fuck up the game. And DeAndre Swift just trucking along, being better every single week. I think it was like 33, then 60, and then he had 120 and then 125. And I didn't know this, but Alvin Kamara is the first Saints running back to have 12,000 yards in a season. Shout out to him. Colts Chargers. Colts came out the gate extra hot. I mean, hot. Too hot, baby. Gotta run for shelter. No, they came out extra hot. I'm not sure they punted until the second half. I don't know what it is that turned Daniel Jones. He went from a pumpkin to Cinderella to a pumpkin, and now he's back to Cinderella. He found the shoe. He's not game managing now. He's making plays. It used to be where you look at Daniel Jones and you see him like rear back, and you're like, oh, fuck. But now you're like, oh, shit. If he throws it, it's going to somebody, and it's exactly what's happening. The O-line and Jonathan Taylor, they can't be stopped. Jonathan Taylor has 3 games now with 3 touchdowns. There are, I think, 10 other teams that don't have a 3-touchdown game. He is hooping. They woke up in the third quarter. The Chargers did, because they weren't doing shit. People were giving Justin Herbert this praise. And you looking for the bathroom?
Yes.
It's right there.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're good. And the Colts were just too on fire. The Chargers woke up, but the Colts would not stop stepping on their necks. It's gotten to a point where the Colts are absolutely contenders in the AFC. If you ask me, I don't know football. I'd say that the Colts were third best in the AFC, second maybe, but the Chargers, jerseys look like pea bananas, just bananas with pea on them. You look too cute. Get them out of here. Don't bring them back. It was like when the Eagles wore the yellow and blue. Don't bring those back. The point I'm making here is that the Colts, you can't. There's nothing you can pick where it's like, oh well, maybe no. They are looking really good. The Chargers need to take a step back. They're trying to be too cute, which is weird under Harbaugh, but Commanders and the Cowboys. I wish this was a tie, obviously, but it wasn't. It was far from a tie. Sucks that Jaden Daniels got hurt. He did, and I saw the play where he got rolled up, clear hamstring. I don't know if it's going to be long term. They said it wasn't going to be, but look out, buddy. You're good. Hey, you made it. Cowboys offense looks really good, and that's just me being unbiased. Especially getting CeeDee Lamb back. Marshawn Lattimore was in hell. I mean, hell, under hell. George Pickens was killing him. CeeDee Lamb was killing him. He looked like he was in hell. And now the Commanders are the worst team in the NFC East. You hate to see it. I don't hate to see it. You don't, but they're going to have to figure something out. The Browns and the Dolphins game. The Dolphins, I don't know what the fuck happened in their locker room. They don't give a shit about Tua. Tua went on, his little press conference and then started talking about how players weren't showing up to meetings and stuff. You don't do that. Tua, you asked for this. And if you go back and look, I'm going to learn how to clip. There were players who just was like, fuck it. I don't care. Get hit. Get hit to it because you don't do that. You don't call out your players publicly. When you're playing like shit, he's had back-to-back 3 interception games. What are you doing? And as a player, you expect me to support that when you're calling us out, but you're playing like shit? This was Dylan Gabriel, the Browns quarterback's first start at home start. He didn't put the ball in harm's way, but he also didn't do anything that was like, oh man, he's the future. He was just game managing. The Browns defense is legit. It's just too bad that their offense is just shitty. Quinyon Judkins, the Browns running back, three TDs. So there's something you can lay your head on. But the biggest story was the Dolphins. You might as well just go ahead and get the tanking. Just go ahead and get the tanking. Cardinals Packers. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about this matchup, but I was excited because it was a great game to the end. I watched it after the fact. I forgot that Jacoby Brissett was their quarterback, and he was slinging the rock. He had 14 straight passes with completions, but didn't work out for them. It was nice to see that, Marvin Harrison Jr., I could hear his name, and it was a good play. He had a fumble, which was really weird. But for the Packers, Josh Jacobs is a beast. Jordan Love sometimes looks like he doesn't know where to go with the football, but when they start running that football, Packers are a problem. Micah Parsons with 3 sacks. But the Cardinals led in this game until 2 minutes. They've lost 3 games this year going into the fourth quarter lead by 7. I don't know if that's coaching. I don't know if that's just players not being aware of what the situation is, but that's what happened. The Titans and the Patriots. This is Mike Vrabel, who used to coach for the Tennessee Titans, and he came out and he didn't hold any punches. I was watching this live because the Eagles were on right here and the Titans were on right here, and I saw it. I was like, oh shit, Titans are up 10-3. Then they got scored on. Titans up 13-10, and that was it. That was it. Ramondre Stevenson imposing his will on linebackers. I didn't realize that Stephon Diggs was a big part of their offense. He had 9 catches. Shout out to him. Drake May playing mistake-free football, not throwing picks. He is the best deep ball thrower in the league. Just puts it on a dime. The Titans are a mess. Cam Ward is a turnover monster. There hasn't been a game this year, and he's a rookie. I get it. He went to Miami. Shout out to the U. There hasn't been a game this year he hasn't turned the ball over. That one, the ball just slipped out of his hands. What are we doing? The Jets and the Panthers, yawn. Both of their backup quarterbacks got in this game. Justin Fields, he just doesn't see where the ball needs to be. He just doesn't. Rico Dowdle is pretty good, I guess. I just hope that the Jets, for my best friend, shout out to Alex, they don't go 0-17. I really do. I hope they don't. Panthers won the game. That's all you get from me. I'm sorry. The Chiefs and the Raiders. This is the game where the Chiefs strike fear in people. You get Rashee Rice back. He has, 3 touchdowns? And they held the Raiders to 29 total plays. The entire game. 29 total plays. Unheard of. The Raiders got to sit on this loss for 2 weeks because they get a bye next week. So you're going to the facility with film of you getting your ass whooped. And if I'm Ashton Genty for the Raiders, I'm pissed. He had 8 carries. You drafted me 4th overall for what? This was Andy Reid's first career shutout in his head coaching career with the Eagles or the Chiefs. Never shut out a team. His first one at 131-0. And the question I ask is, are the Chiefs going to do this fucking again? And I mean, are they just going to run through the AFC in the playoffs? Because they're going to make the playoffs. Are they going to do it again? God damn it. At least we got one off them. The Steelers and the Bengals. Joe Cool, shout out to Joe Flacco, came through for the Bengals. I watched it. The Bengals fans were like, oh my fucking goodness, we got a chance. He throws the ball with ease. Like, you'll see a lot of quarterbacks like panic. He's just standing there like, I know my reads, got it. And it just looks effortless. Zip on the ball, and there you could tell that the Bengals players felt like there was no doubt. Aaron Rodgers, not too shabby, but those 2 picks he threw, yuck. The one he threw to the safety, he just threw it up. That was bad. The other one, the guy just took it away from DK Metcalf, which is very difficult to do. Strong dude. But it just came down to the Bengals not giving up with a minute to go. And I wondered, and I haven't looked it up. I should have looked it up. I was wondering if this is the largest combined age for 2 starting quarterbacks, because Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco, and 2 older guys when it comes to football. The Lions and the Bucks. Baker Mayfield was in hell. He was in hell. He threw the ball 50 times. 50 times. And if you go back and look at it, when I say 50 times, 12 of those was him throwing it with somebody just like slapping the shit out of his shoulder. He had no protection, and they blitzed him into oblivion. He had no time. And on the other side, Jared Goff had 24 attempts and had more yards than Baker Mayfield. They tried to force the pass, the Buccaneers did. Didn't work. And then you get Jahmyr Gibbs, who is the truth, the running back for the Lions. He had 121 yards in the first quarter. What? Recipe for winning. It was a defensive battle that the Bucs lost. So when they talk about the NFC, it's going to be tough because the Bucs have played pretty well this year, but that was bad. Dan Campbell, great play calling he's similar to Nick Sirianni, where he's letting his coordinators do what they do, but he's the guy who's keeping everybody even keeled. Love that. The Seahawks and the Seahawks and the Texans. The score was deceiving because it was 14-6 at half. The Texans the Seahawks were holding their own, but it kind of wasn't. The Texans had 3 turnovers, but the Seahawks weren't doing anything with them. And Sam Darnold decided to be decisive. I think Jackson Smith and Jigba had 9 or 10 catches, out routes, posts, and catching everything. And then you get the Texans, who are abysmal on 3rd and 4th downs. They get into a 3rd and 4, make it to a 4th and 1, and then just give the ball back. When they were they were taking the ball away from them, and the Seahawks found a way to win this game, and they needed to, because I'm going to transition to the fact that the Mariners collapsed. I watched the Game 7 for the Mariners. Oof. They were up 3-1, and the Blue Jays just cracked that 3-run home run. It was a sight to see, and I knew it was going to happen. I knew that if I watched Game 7, something crazy was going to happen, and it did. Their ace did their thing, and then they got to play the Dodgers, who, gotta say, Shohei Ohtani might have the greatest game I've ever seen, ever. I mean, all sports. 3 home runs. You pitch 6 innings. You got 10 strikeouts. And you only give up 2 hits? Come on, man. My final thoughts. Halloween is right around the corner. Thanksgiving, also right around the corner. I don't need to see your Christmas trees right now. I don't. I get it. Spirit, yada, yada, yada. Can we just let the holidays just be the holidays? I'm talking to you, and I know if my mom's listening to this, I'm talking to you. Big ups to the first state. Stay focused and be great. Take a sip. Agua. Our first show is you see it, Merry Man. Hey, y'all be good out there. Go Birds.